Alright guys, I'm back with another chapter in Deuteronomy. We're in Deuteronomy chapter 22, where there is no header. This is a continuation of the laws and regulations set out by Deuteronomy 21. So this is just a continuation of that story and that part of Deuteronomy. I'm still here in my office. Monday, the students head off, but I've been in here just getting some work done in my office, and I got a board meeting tonight. So I just want to make sure that I got my fellowship in with you guys and really just enjoy my Bible reading. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it. And remember, we're in Deuteronomy chapter 22. If you see your neighbor's ox or sheep or goat wandering away, don't ignore your responsibility. Take it back to its owner. If its owner does not live nearby or you don't know who the owner is, take it to your place and keep it until the owner comes looking for it. Then you must return it. Do the same if you find your neighbor's donkey, clothing, or anything else your neighbor loses. Don't ignore your responsibility. If you see that your neighbor's donkey or ox has collapsed on the road, do not look the other way. Go and help your neighbor get it back on its feet. A woman must not put on men's clothing, and a man must not wear women's clothing. Anyone who does this is detestable in the sight of the Lord your God. If you happen to find a bird's nest in a tree or on the ground, and there are young ones or eggs in it with the mother sitting in the nest, do not take the mother with the young. You may take the young, but let the mother go, so that you may prosper and enjoy a long life. When you build a new house, you must build a railing around the edge of its flat roof. That way, you will not be considered guilty of murder if someone falls from the roof. You must not plant any other crop between the rows of your vineyard. If you do, you are forbidden to use either the grapes from the vineyard or the other crop. You must not plow with an ox and a donkey harnessed together. You must not wear clothing made of wool and linen woven together. You must put 4 tassels on the hem of the cloak with which you cover yourself, on the front, back, and sides. Suppose a man marries a woman, but after sleeping with her he turns against her, and publicly accuses her of shameful conduct, saying, "When I married this woman, I discovered she was not a virgin." Then the woman's father and mother must bring the proof of her virginity to the elders as they hold court at the town gate. Her father must say to them, "I gave my daughter to this man to be his wife, and now he has turned against her. He has accused her of shameful conduct, saying, 'I discovered that your daughter was not a virgin, but here's the proof of my daughter's virginity.' Then they must spread her bedsheet before the elders. The elders must then take the man and punish him. They must also fine him 100 pieces of silver, which he must pay to the woman's father because he publicly accused a virgin of Israel of shameful conduct." Where was I? I just lost my spot. Okay, they must also fine him 100 pieces of silver, which he must pay to the woman's father because he publicly accused a virgin of Israel of shameful conduct. The woman will then remain the man's wife, and he may never divorce her. But suppose the man's accusations are true, and he can show that she was not a virgin. The woman must be taken to the door of her father's home, and there the men of the town must stone her to death. For she has committed a disgraceful crime in Israel by being promiscuous while living in her parents' home. In this way, you will purge this evil from among you. If a man is discovered committing adultery, both he and the woman must die. In this way, you will purge Israel of such evil. I'm going to say that again. If a man is discovered committing adultery, both he and the... Okay, I'm going to come back to 22 when we're all done. I was confused, but it didn't say what I thought it said. Suppose a man meets a young woman, a virgin who is engaged to be married, and he has sexual intercourse with her. If this happens within a town, you must take both of them to the gates of that town and stone them to death. The woman is guilty because she did not scream for help. The man must die because he violated another man's wife. In this way, you will purge this evil from among you. But if the man meets the engaged woman out in the country and he rapes her, then only the man must die, doing nothing to the young woman. She has committed no crime worthy of death. She is as innocent as a murder victim, since the man raped her out in the country. It must be assumed that she screamed, but there was no one to rescue her. Suppose a man has intercourse with a young woman who is a virgin but is not engaged to be married. If they are discovered, he must pay her father 50 pieces of silver. Then he must marry the young woman because he violated her, and he may never divorce her as long as he lives. A man must not marry his father's former wife, for this would violate his father. Goodness. There's a lot to unpack in that, but I want to come back to, it is verse 22 of Deuteronomy 22. And so it reads, if a man is discovered committing adultery, both he and the woman must die. In this way, you will purge Israel of such evil. And so at first, I thought that meant it didn't matter if the woman was a victim or not. And so it obviously clarified that in the remaining passages. And so when I go back up to that, it's interesting to me that the passage later on, when we get, and I forget which of the Gospels, it's in Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John, when it talks about a woman that is caught being promiscuous and they want to stone her to death, but there wasn't a man to answer to the crime that he was involved in. And so it's so interesting that it definitely goes through and explains how the woman should always be protected. But it is interesting to me also that if a man were to take advantage sexually of a woman, that they'd be forced to marry. That's interesting to me. I'm curious to see if that would be weaponized to some extent by a man. Say, hey, just by simply laying claim. And so I'd definitely be, I guess I shouldn't say interested, but I'd be curious to see how this was implemented and enacted, because it says, suppose a man has intercourse with a young woman who is a virgin but is not engaged. So I guess, okay, so there is a distinction. This just says, so if the two engage in intercourse outside of wedlock, but not rape. And so I thought, let's see. Okay, nope, it's a misunderstanding that I had. I thought they were forcing the woman and man to get married if she had been raped, but that's not the case. The case is that he is to be put to death, and she is to be treated as a murder victim. She is as innocent as a murder victim since the man raped her, and so only the man must die. But if two are to be out of wedlock and they engage in intercourse, then they are to be married. Okay, never mind. See, it's important that you read for comprehension, not just to read. I definitely had to go back there. I thought there was a lot of conflicting things in there, but it wasn't. The discrepancy, I thought that they were treating rape the same as just sex outside of marriage, but it's not the case. So that was my misinterpretation or misreading of it. So no, that's fantastic. I like that. See, just taking the time, taking the patience to kind of work through some things and definitely have that understanding. Super important before you just kind of move through things. And I guess with that, I'll just leave that at that face value. Say, hey, no need to reflect on that. That makes sense. Protecting women and the importance of their virginity and really that promise to one another, husband, wife, really just emphasizing the importance of what a relationship under Christ truly is and the importance of a man just staying true to his vows, and really men including all men, the importance of protecting women and in all aspects of society. So I like this. I there's some tough conversations in here, and it's definitely interesting that it goes from what we should wear to immediately the sexual purity of women and the importance of upholding that. But I imagine there's a reason for that order. But be that as it may, I like how straightforward it is and holding men to that higher standard of expectation. It's been a humbling journey identifying the true role that I play not only in society, expectations I should have for myself and raising that in my sons, but in my own relationship with my wife and how I'm to love her better and protect her and my daughter. And so, I like that. So, on that note, have a good night. God bless. I love you. Jesus loves you. And I'll be back tomorrow for Deuteronomy chapter 23, where the header reads, Regulations Concerning Worship. And that one's going to be short and sweet with only about 25 verses. So I look forward to that. I'll probably be in my office again tomorrow because I think I have my varsity girls senior night basketball tomorrow. And so it'll be another late night. So I'll see you guys here again tomorrow. Other than that, have a good night. God bless. I'll see you tomorrow.